There are cities that remain inside us long after we leave them, not merely as places on a map, but as chapters of who we once were. Some cities remember our first courage. Some hold the sound of our uncertain beginnings. Some witness the version of us that arrived with hesitation and slowly learned to belong. Welcome back. This is The Sound of a Quiet Voice, episode 26. The Weight of Moving Fast.
A little thought, a tiny whisper. Did you hear it yet? A ripple forming, quietly brave, growing gently into a wave. That's the sound of a quiet voice.
Last week, I travelled again to Bangalore, or Bengaluru, a city that once marked a major milestone in my life. My first job began there. That city taught me in quiet ways. It walked beside me through early mornings, long commutes, first responsibilities, and the strange pride of earning for the very first time. It changed me without announcing that it was doing so. And perhaps because of that, it stayed with me. For years, whenever I thought of Bengaluru, memory softened everything. But this time, something shifted the moment we entered. The excitement faded almost instantly. The city I had carried inside me was no longer standing there in the same way. Traffic stretched endlessly. Noise rose without pause. Metro lines cut through familiar skies, changing not just roads but recognition itself. Places I once knew confidently now appeared like fragments from another life, almost as if I had visited them once in a dream and returned too late to claim them. Everywhere there was movement, cars inching forward impatiently, two-wheelers slipping through impossible gaps, people rushing as though every minute had become negotiable only through speed, everyone moving, everyone arriving somewhere, and yet very few seeming present where they already were. For a brief moment, the city felt less alive and more breathless. And all I could think was, if I had control over time, I would stop every clock for a few minutes, not to silence the city, but to return breathing space to it. To let people stand still without apology, to stretch tired shoulders, to look up, to inhale deeply, to remember that life was never meant to feel like a race. We forgot how to exit. This time at a coffee shop, a line printed on a mug quietly caught my attention. Slow down to wake up. And perhaps that sentence returned because everything around me now looked awake but restless. I have seen city life closely enough to know its promises. Its rewards are real. Its possibilities are endless. But somewhere hidden behind ambition, there is also a quiet exhaustion that nobody speaks about enough. Then came the years when the world paused during COVID-19 pandemic, and many of us, perhaps for the first time, heard our own thoughts clearly. We stepped away, settled into smaller places, closer to home, a slower town, a kinder rhythm, people who still had time to greet one another, roads that did not test your patience every hour, evenings that arrived gently, and perhaps because life had slowed down, memory opened another door. But before that, let us move to today's story by our very own anonymous writer. Because this one quietly feels like a reality check for all of us. A much older memory, the life we think we want. By the anonymous writer. The life we think we want. By the anonymous writer. The year was 1989. A small town, untouched by hurry. The kind of town where mornings did not begin with alarms but with familiar sounds. Bicycle bells, temple music, vendors calling softly, and doors opening one after another into the same known day. A place where everyone knew not just each other's names, but their routines, their families, their stories. In that town lived Amar, a boy in 7th standard, carrying school books on weekdays and curiosity everywhere else. That Sunday morning, he walked into a small barber shop, tucked beside a row of old stores. The ceiling fan spun lazily above. A radio murmured in the background, faintly playing old songs. The smell inside was unmistakable. Talcum powder, shaving cream, coconut oil, and freshly cut hair settling quietly on the floor. The shop was crowded. 4 men were already waiting. One customer sat in the chair covered in a faded white cloth, while the barber worked with calm precision. Amar found a small corner and sat quietly. From there, he watched everything. The barber was short, hardly 5 feet tall, with a face that reminded Amar of a comedy actor he had seen in films. But it was not the face. It was presence. He moved lightly. His hands worked quickly but never hurried. And more than cutting hair, he seemed to hold the whole room together. He spoke to everyone, laughed easily, remembered details, asked questions, listened fully. Every person who entered the shop came in for a haircut, but stayed as though they had arrived to spend time with someone familiar. It did not feel like business, it felt like belonging. One of the waiting customers leaned forward and casually asked, "Anna, what time do you open and close the shop?" The barber smiled, a gentle, quiet smile that suggested he enjoyed the question. And without pausing his scissors, he began. "I wake up at 7 every day. First thing in the morning, I sit by the radio. There's a program I never miss from 7 to 8. Old songs, little talk. That's how the day begins." Snip, pause, snip. "After that, I get ready slowly. No rush. My mother cooks at home and she cooks wonderfully. Every day something different. Fresh vegetables and 3 days a week non-veg as well." A small laugh moved through the room. I eat peacefully, he continued. Not like people who swallow food and run. By 10, I leave home. 20 minutes walking. On the way, I buy newspaper. One Tamil, one English. Customers ask for both. He misted water over the customer's hair, steady, deliberate. Then I open the shop. Clean first, puja next, tea after that. By 11, first customer comes. Sometimes late also, someone joked. Yes, sometimes late, but they come, the barber said, smiling. I work till 2:30, but work does not feel heavy. People come here with stories. One talks about his son, another about crops, someone about politics, someone worries. Half the day I listen. That is my entertainment. And at 2:30 my mother brings lunch. Hot rice, fresh curry. Sometimes fish fry if I am lucky. And I eat peacefully and continue till evening. By 7, town closes. No one outside. I lock the shop and walk home. No need to hurry. Roads are empty, silent by then. Reach home, wash, clean myself and have some tea. At 8 o'clock, the movie starts on TV. Every day a different film. Dinner while watching the movie. By 10:30, the movie is over. Then old songs on radio and I go to sleep. He paused. And Monday is a holiday. That word sounded almost ceremonial. Then I go to the nearby town. Sometimes alone, sometimes with friends. We watch a new film in theatre, front seat sometimes. Whistle if hero entry is good. Then biryani, hot, fragrant, straight from a crowded little hotel near the theatre. Tea after that. Not because everyone needed it, but because conversations always lasted longer when tea arrived. With samosa also. We sit for a while, talk, laugh at scenes again and again, forget time and come back late. Amar sat quietly observing it all. At that moment, that simple, ordinary life felt perfect. No homework, no exams, no school bells, no report cards, no unfinished assignments. Only food on time, movies every night, a mother waiting at home, friends nearby, a holiday every Monday, and laughter every single day. That morning, without telling anyone, Amar made a secret decision. This is my dream life. Years passed. Amar grew up, moved abroad, built a career, earned well. One day, sitting in a sleek, modern salon, Amar suddenly remembered the barber from that small town. He laughed quietly to himself. How foolish I was to think that was my dream life, he muttered. Because at that age, success looked louder, bigger, farther away. The world outside promised more: promotions, houses, cars, holidays, abroad, and whatnot. And naturally, he thought it was all more valuable than a simple day spent cutting hair and drinking tea. Years passed again. Marriage, children, deadlines, bills, responsibilities, EMIs. You would know the drill if you were married. Life filled itself completely. And yet, it left a quiet emptiness he had never anticipated. One day, waiting as his son got a haircut, Amar's mind wandered. And then it came. a wave of memory. The small shop, the barber, the slow, steady rhythm of life he had once envied. This time he did not laugh. He paused and whispered quietly to himself, "Maybe he had something I lost." No pressure, no competition, no pretending. His own work, his own people, his own town. Enough. More than enough. Years later, Amar finally returned to his hometown. The streets were the same, the air smelled familiar, but something felt different. Or perhaps it was him who had changed. One evening, he walked slowly to that old barber shop. The board was faded, the walls looked older, the shop still stood. And inside, the barber. Older now, slower perhaps, but still carrying the same ease. Amar entered. The barber looked up. No sign of recognition. "Haircut?" he asked. Amar nodded. As the scissors moved, conversation began naturally. "Where are you from?" the barber asked. "I'm from here, but now settled abroad," Amar replied. "Ah, very good," the barber smiled. After a pause, Amar added, "I used to come here when I was very small." The barber chuckled softly. "Then you must have been too small, I don't remember." And both smiled. Then almost casually, the barber asked, "So, how is life there?" Amar explained. The fast life, the pressure, the deadlines, the constant running. The barber listened quietly, then said only this, "I am happy you're doing well. Enjoy your life." No comparison, no envy, no regret, just genuine warmth. Haircut done, Amar paid and stepped outside. He turned once. The barber had already begun talking to the next customer, laughing again, just like before. And perhaps that was the moment Amar understood something quiet but powerful. The barber had never once wished for Amar's life, but Amar had spent years imagining the barber's peace. And maybe that is the heaviest thing about moving fast. How easily it convinces us that slowing down means falling behind, when often slowing down is the only way we truly see where we are. Because somewhere along the way, many lives become full of achievement, but empty of arrival. Peace does not always live in another city, another salary, another version of ourselves. Sometimes it waits quietly inside ordinary routines we fail to notice. And that is the weight of moving fast. This is AV Speaks. And tonight, before sleep finds you, ask yourself gently, are you chasing life or carrying it without noticing?